children will still, I mean, I know that when I walk around on a basketball court, everyone's trying to be Michael Jordan, or everyone's trying to be, Steph Curry. They're trying to be the next big thing. And do you think that if we were to defocus on the professional athletes and go more toward community and fun and, just climbing a tree, for goodness sakes, would they still have the same interest in being physical?
Yeah, that's a great question. And we are guilty in the sociology of sport of spending too much of our time looking at these elite, highly organized, economically driven forms of sports, rather than looking at what I would call people sports, the kinds of sports that exist at local levels, in playgroups, in neighborhoods, in communities, and where people are organizing sports for themselves. And those sports are driven by the interests of the people themselves. And those sports do exist. It's just that they don't get the kinds of attention that would lead people to define sports as a source of fun, for example, rather than as a source of upward mobility and economic success. So, we know how few people are able to obtain economic success through sports, but what happens is, that the emphasis on that is so great that many young people feel that sports is their way to success. And in the process, fun and using sports as a way of connecting locally and creating community kind of gets lost in the shuffle.
But it hasn't, I mean, even way back when you were the strongest in your clan or in your village, you had some social status from it. Isn't it just a little bit built in to be
Well,
competitive in that way?
it's built in to the extent that people value particular forms of human movement and physical activities and people's abilities within those activities and how those abilities are connected with the rest of the community. If you go into developing societies and look at some of the folk games and folk sports that exist in those places, those sports are integrally tied with many other aspects of the community in positive ways. So, and they're integrated in a way that our elite, economically driven sports in wealthy societies are not. So oftentimes sports become relatively separate from people's everyday lives, other than people seeing them as spectators. And one of the questions that we have to ask in the sociology of sport is, when you sit on a couch for 20 hours during a week watching other people play sport, how does that affect your involvement in the community? How does it affect your relationships, even with people in your own family and your neighbors? Is it having a positive effect? Is it contributing to the vitality of your family and community? And in some cases it is, but certainly not in all cases.